Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live, all the things. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My car is ready. So as soon as I go get cash from the bank, I literally have to pay this guy in cash, not a check. Cash, no credit cards, which is fine, but I'm all for charging $1,600 and 13, whatever it is, on a credit card to get the points. But no, can't use a credit card. I have to go to the bank and get cash. I had to pay the deposit, $1,035. I had to pay for the bumper. I'm like, dude, you've been in business a long time. I shouldn't be having to pay a down payment, and I shouldn't have to be paying for the part. But I mean, you could keep my Suburban if I don't, right? Like what? Anyway, so I had to go to the bank the other day and get $1,035 out. Yeah, I'm all about the points on my credit card, right? That's the only reason. That's the only reason to put everything on my credit card, so I earn all the points. Or it was a cashier check. So it was cash or cashier check. And I'm like, I don't do cashier's checks. Like, what? I thought about her yesterday. Isn't that funny? I was texting with Michael Riley and I meant to ask him if Krista, where she's been. Yvonne Gal says, has anyone talked to Krista? If you're following along, we miss you. Well, be well, sweet friend. I know. I have not, and I thought maybe she's on here and she's not commenting. She used to comment all the time. Don't ask about a receipt. Oh my God, don't ask about a receipt. You know why, Christina? He's been here forever. I think I did use him when our Honda minivan years ago, we were leaving a festival on Mother's Day weekend, and one of the carnival guys bumped our car, and it was bad enough to get fixed, but the guy didn't have insurance. He was like, oh my gosh. Of course, he gave us a phone number out of Dallas, no telling where he really lived. And we can just tell he didn't have the money. So, our insurance was like, the deductible at the time, this is literally like, 19, 20 years ago, was like $250 for an uninsured motorist if somebody hit you. So we just went through that, or maybe I just paid for it all. I don't even remember. We didn't want to hassle him with it because we felt bad that he was a carnival worker and he just hit my bumper on accident, when you're leaving, and none of the kids were hurt. We weren't hurt, none of that. So anyways, I used him forever ago. I don't think I used him for any of the 3 times. I think I had to go to the car dealership because the car was only 6 months old. It wasn't easy to get replacement bumpers. There was 2 bumpers that somebody hit me, and the front bumper, whatever, that fender that somebody hit me in. So the first 6 months of owning this car in 2019. So, oh no, yeah, it was in 2019. It's a 2019 Suburban. But the receipt just said what it was in the deposit. It didn't say anything about the total. So I literally wrote down $1,613. That way I wouldn't forget what it was. Anyway, he's been there forever. There's no way he would do me dirty. But when he called just a minute ago and said my car was ready. And I said, what's the balance? And he said $578.85. So now I have to go to the bank after this and get cash, $578.85 to pay it. So weird. Like, I hate spending cash. I hate spending cash. Just always feels like more money. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like a lot more. Anyway, shout out all of you chumpettes that are already here, already commenting. I hope you already hit the thumbs up button. I was very much appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, Christina's like smart, always want a paper trail. Yeah, I mean, Anyways, yeah, has anyone seen Christina? Wait, we have a May Boo and a Honey May? Wait, what? Am I getting confused? No, May Boo is here, isn't she? Yes, May Boo is here. And now we have a Honey May. Businesses can't afford to pay the credit card company's fee and choose to use cash only. And he said he hasn't taken checks in like 5 years because he got a bad check. And I was like, honey, I thought they used to I thought they used to have a way to, like, check your bank account to see if you had the check in it. I kind of understand the check thing because I do agree. People it's literally the concept of a check is so bizarre. You're literally writing on a piece of paper and signing your name saying, "Yes, I have this amount of money in my checking account," right? Ready to spend. So, and if you go and spend your money before they deposit that check, then they have a bad check on their hands, right? So, oh my goodness. Wait, what? Oh, very cool. Michael Riley says, I'm keeping up with Stu today as he travels to Italy, staying at the White Lotus location. Lots of pictures. I'm sure it will come. Very cool. Very cool. Um, okay. So shout out to Krista if you're watching on the replay or what have you. We miss you. I did think of you yesterday. So anyways, if anyone wants to put in or come on live, don't forget to hit that StreamYard. You could just copy and paste that and then it will come on. So I love Honey Child. Tiva Tambo says, when my mama would gossip, she would say, Honey Child, let me tell you. Love that. I know. I thought every business would just say, if you're using a credit, I think schools do this. I don't use my credit card to pay for college tuition because you can, but they charge you an extra fee. So then we just pay a separate way where there's no extra fees. So people at least have the option to do it on a credit card if they don't have the funds available right away. But I think a lot of companies should say, yes, it's this price for cash or check and this price if you use a credit card. Because yeah, they are charged like 3%. But that's also to me kind of part of doing business. And usually if you're doing body work, because this is a body work place only, it's not the mechanic guy that I use for all the other thousands I've spent on the Suburban the last 6-7 months or so. That's a mechanic. They take credit cards and they don't charge me any different fee, but they probably just tack on a fee for credit cards because most people use that, right? Who pays cash? Who writes a check anymore? I literally write a check to my lawn guys. That might be the only check I write anymore. I am really thinking hard. For the longest time, I wrote a check to my housekeeper, a different housekeeper that I've had the last couple of years. And I finally talked her into doing Zelle because she was like, what is Zelle? And I said, look, Zelle is very trustworthy. It's going from my bank account into yours. You don't see my bank account. I don't see yours. And then she started taking Zelle. But yeah, Cecily, someplace start passing on the credit card fees to the consumer. And I'm all for that. At least give people the option, right? Because I don't choose to do that because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for me to pay the fees versus the rewards that I'm getting. You know what I mean? Wait, I thought the Derby already happened. What's the Derby? Oh, I think there's different Derbies than just the Kentucky Derby, right? Kimberly says, I'm going to my first Derby party. Oh, super cute. I kind of want to see the hat you're going to wear. I assume everyone wears a hat, right? Christina says, my husband is the lawn guy. Well, Brian got lucky kind of on accident, but trust me, he's all for paying the lawn guys. When I met him, I already owned my own house and I was a single girl who never owned a weed eater, didn't own a lawnmower, didn't want to own any of that. So when I met him, I already had my house. So when we moved into the next house that we built, we just got lawn guys. And then when we moved to this house 20 years ago, we, have lawn guys. So anyways, ooh, I love that. Yvonne Gal says, I'm the lawn guy at our house. I love the smell of freshly grown grass. Freshly mown. Mown? Is that a word? Mowed. Is it MOWN or MOWED? I would say freshly mowed grass, but I could be absolutely wrong. Oh, Kimberly's going to send me a picture of her hat for the Derby. Oh my gosh, I love it. Kimberly J is also the lawn guy. Y'all, in Texas, in South Texas, I mean, only maybe, I mean, it's it's mowed once a week, almost all year round. There might be, I don't think there's a time in December, even January, that they even take a week off from mowing because we get grass growing year round. You know what I mean? So Anyways, thank you. Oh, you didn't listen to Hannah Grace says, didn't listen to Jeff Lewis live today, so I'm so glad Sarah gives us the scoop, the serious acting. My app was messing up today too. It was going around in circles. I finally got it to work, but I haven't listened to all of Andy Cohen live because I had to stop listening to that to start Jeff Lewis. And then when I went back, I ran out of time. So what's a fascinator? People really wear their hat out? Wait, are we supposed to do this in Houston? Like, I'm totally not going to do this. Dana Maria said the fascinators are already out. Went to dinner last night and everyone is dressed up with their hats. It's such a fun week here. Oh my God. Now where do you go? Is this is a fancy restaurant, or if I like went to Tex-Mex last night, were people going to have their hats out in Houston? I can't imagine. Oh, it is. I'll bet, especially if you live in South Texas where you're sweating your balls off to mow the lawn. Kimberly J says, I count mowing as exercise. It absolutely is. Even growing up when I got a little bit old, like the teen years, my dad got an automatic one. You just held this self push. What was it called? You just had to pull this little gripper and the dang thing would walk for you. It was amazing. But for the most part, my brother mowed the lawn. He was the lawn mower before that. I mean, now there's companies, right? Like I write the check to the guy's company and it's the same 3 to 4 guys that does like my yard, the neighbor's yard, someone down the street, self-propelled. Yeah. But growing up, it was just like the neighborhood kids did the lawns, right? They just walked along, pushing their lawnmowers, knocked on the door of somebody. If the husband had been sick, if the husband was out of town, or if somebody's teenage son was being a jerk and wouldn't mow the lawn that week, then the mom would be like, okay, honey, here's $20 to mow the lawn. Anyways, now there's big old companies doing it because, I would say there's a few people in our neighborhood that mow their own lawn. And, they can definitely afford not to. I'm assuming they enjoy it, what have you. It's just for us a scheduling thing. And yeah, it's just a lot. Oh, I can't imagine a snow shovel. I am out on the winters. I would be the worst person living up where it snows. Like never, ever, ever have I. Oh my gosh. Fascinators. Is fascinators just the word for a hat? Like I'm so confused. Oh my gosh. I love snow. I don't love when it's shoveled and piled up and brown and melty and icy and you slip and slide on it. Like we toured a couple of colleges where it was super icy and cold. And I was like, do you really want to do this? Like 4 to 5 months out of the year, all 4 years of college, and nobody decided to do that. One of my daughters goes, well, has it snowed it snowed in Georgia too, but not a lot. It doesn't snow a lot at University of Georgia. But my daughter lives in North Texas and getting her master's there, and she got her undergrad there, and it snows there too, but not, not like real, like Arkansas and above, you know what I mean? Anyways, other than that, I'm having a good day. Besides icing my feet, I figured it out where I can ice the plantar fasciitis on the one side. It also hits my bunion on the left foot. And then I take and put the side of my foot, of my right foot, that has it's on this part, the outer part, and I just fold my foot up, the tendonitis, whatever it is, the blah, 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 tendonitis. And so I've got my left foot this way and then my right foot this way, and I'm all iced up. I'm on 3 Advils every 4 to 6 hours or so. I'm resting. I'm not walking. My left foot only activates under that bunion if I walk the wrong way. So I've done it a couple times, but it's not near as much as it is. Wow. You do? Honey May, where do you live? Honey May says, not to brag, but this is a good brag. I always cut my grass twice a week, and I have a big yard with hills up and down. I hate working out, and I have a great girl. I assume you're a girl. I don't know, guy. I have a great body. I don't use the self-propelled, even though I have it. Man, I'm impressed. That is a flex. I mean, twice a week. Do you just like it really short? Like, why? So crazy. Yeah, lots of people are mowing their own lawn. That's awesome. I mean, it's gotta get done. I mean, I even take out the trash and recycling every once in a while. I just, you gotta get it done. I don't think that that is like only, my husband's job or the son's job. I don't think of the dishes as only a girl's job. I just, I don't think in those terms. But absolutely mowing the lawn is a workout for sure. But twice a week, I can't even imagine. That's a lot. I don't know. So Rebecca says perimenopause, plantar fasciitis is no joke. I mean, I hope that's not what's ahead of me. I still have a period, but I do think age-wise, I have to be getting deep into menopause at one point, right? I mean, I'm 52, but I still have a period every month. So I don't know what's going on. I think I have the plantar fasciitis from all the weight that I've gained because all 3 times I've had plantar fasciitis, I've been at one of my highest weights. So I don't know to blame it on there's no way to know why you have it, but I hope I don't have that to look forward to because that is not fair. Oh, you can okay. Wait, there's Krista. We've been asking where you were. Have you been here? But just wait, is that an eyeball? I think you changed your profile picture. Krista says you can have a period and be in full menopause. Okay. I wish I would know, like hormone wise. Weight has, yeah, it does. Jean says weight has a lot to do with plantar fasciitis. And a lot of non-overweight people get plantar fasciitis too. But in general, for me, it comes on when I've gained weight. So yeah. Perimenopause is before menopause. Plantar fasciitis flares up more. Oh, okay. Thank you, Rebecca. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, Krista, we've missed you. Literally at the beginning of the show, I was like, is she here? Is she just not commenting? Like I literally almost asked Michael Riley yesterday, has she been on? Yes, from running. Kay Kitty says, I've always been in shape and had plantar fasciitis from too much running or running the wrong way. Yeah. So, it's called menopause once I stop completely. But that could be a couple of years, right? Or a year or two. I don't even know. I don't know why they're not checking my hormones. I mean, I just got an update from my doctor who I do like from being rechecked for my cholesterol. The bad cholesterol is still high. It's 183. So she does want me to go on medicine the next time that I'm there. But I'm hoping also that I lose some weight and maybe it goes down. But so far, I'm kind of a slow weight loser. I'm about a little over a pound a week from the weight loss medication, which is very healthy. It's a good way to do it, but I'm also not one of these. It's like, oh, I'm struggling to eat. I'm nauseous. I'm sick. I can't even get 1,000 calories in. Like these people are saying this on the Facebook group I'm on, and I'm like, no, I could get, I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably get 2,000 calories in, you know what I mean? But when I'm trying to do a good job of tracking my calories every day and protein and all of that, I'm getting about 12 to 1,500 calories, mostly 1,500. But I'm also, every time I eat a little dark chocolate, these little peanut butters that my husband has me getting from Costco, they're 2 grams of sugar and delicious. That's 70 calories. So I'm tracking everything as much as I possibly can going into my mouth. So I haven't gone up in dose. Matter of fact, I just got my medication in the mail, about an hour ago. But I'm thinking of asking her, but I don't know. It's definitely working. I can feel, I like that I have no side effects. Even though I'm losing just over a pound a week, I'm fine with that. So I don't think I want to go up as much. I'm using my Fitbit tracker. So my Fitbit that I've had forever is just this, whatever that's called, that little blue Fitbit tracker. And it's got my weight from like years ago. I've been tracking my weight, I think since 2018 when I got this thing. January 2nd. What year is this? Oh, what year is it? I guess 2018. So I got it in January of 2018. And I just started tracking the food. So it's so easy. Almost all of them have a free option. And they also have where you can just scan the UPC code. And then you just adjust. So like the dark cherries that are frozen that y'all suggested I buy, a, a cup is a serving, but that's a lot of these cherries. So I'm measuring out a half a cup, and that's what I'm eating. So then it's got these little scroll things. You just adjust like a third of a cup, 5 ounces of meat, a pound of meat. I mean, it's got so many different ways to adjust your food. So, and it has restaurant stuff too. So anyways, trying to be honest with that, but it's not easy. I mean, it's one of those things I'll probably stop doing eventually, but that's when you lose your focus and you're not making a priority, that's when you start eating things and forgetting about it and all that. It's definitely, yeah, Miss Lupo says the Manjaro is great to silence the food noise. It is definitely helping with that, but I'm also glad that I'm not one of those that's so sick that I just can't eat. I mean, some of these people in the Facebook group are like, I can't eat at all. And I'm like, oh, that's not my problem at all. I literally had, y'all saw my Instagram, my YouTube, these huge pieces of turkey patties that I'm getting at Walmart. Lots of eggs. I'm eating just fine. Anyways, good question. K Kitty says, what is better, Ozempic or Mounjaro? So not obviously, Ozempic is semaglutide. Mounjaro is tirzepatide. Those are the brand names of them. There's other ones also. Those two in general are mostly used for people that are diabetic. There's other stuff that like Zepbound that is a brand name, but is used just to lose weight. So there's different things based on what your needs are. I am not diabetic, so I don't need it for that. I just need it for losing weight and getting my cholesterol down. So I was on Wegovy, which was the brand name. It's a lot easier to do the brand name. The pen is so much easier. You don't see the needle. It's easier. It's already weight measured out. You just put it in. The other one, the tirzepatide, the compounded, and the semaglutide comes in a vial. You have the needles. You got to draw it out. You got to get the air out. You got to get the liquid. It's a little more of a process. So my husband does that part for me. Can y'all see that I have my Anyways t-shirt on? I do. You can see it on TikTok. Get your Sarah from Texas merch if you want it. It's on my link tree. And so which one is better? The semaglutide, which is Wegovy that I was on for a month, I had a few symptoms. The light headaches, the faint headaches, and I also had a fast heartbeat a couple of times. That kind of scared me. So now I'm on compounded tirzepatide, which is a 2-process thing. In most of the studies show tirzepatide, you get less side effects because the second thing that it's doing is putting to work the extra, not estrogen. What's the thing you get from diabetes? Whatever that thing is, the sugar, whatever thing is. Insulin. Puts the insulin to work. And then the other thing it does is they're showing more results with losing weight. So anyways, we'll see. Yeah, Briss says a pound a week is perfect. I was losing 3 pounds a week, but I started to look a lot older. I had to gain some weight to look my age again. Yeah, and honestly, we can tell. I was very fluffy in my December holiday pictures with my family. I can definitely tell that my face thinned out very quickly. So they always say you lose weight from here and then your arms, and then it kind of goes down. So anyways, and that was my thing, that my portion control was out of control. Krista says, I've been amazed at the portions you're able to eat. My friends on these meds can't get down that much food. Yeah, but I'm glad, because you need to eat. You know what I mean? Like these people saying they can't get in 900 calories. I'm like, well, you got to eat. You know what I mean? Thank you. Michael Riley says my face looked thinner. Thank you. And that happened pretty quickly. So even though that was not a weight thing, I was very happy to lose that inflammation and puffiness in my face for sure. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, well, let's get into some celebrity news. Some Jeff is not happy with the Tattletailer. We're going to chat the Valley, and then, of course, Jeff Lewis Live. So on Andy Cohen Live today, this caller calls in and basically tattles on Jeff for adding, let's see if it's still on. So what do y'all think? Do you think that Jeff just doesn't go through the channels to make sure something is okay? Or do you think he's just playing this up? I mean, okay. So fansocial.co is the app that Jeff and Michael Beck had the idea to do that's very similar to Cameo, but it just takes it a step further. Instead of doing a video, you can have in-person dinner, in-person drinks. You can go on an event. You can play golf with a celebrity, whoever you want. And then they get a cut of it. So they get about 20% of the deal. So Jeff has always had the drinks for $5,000. It says 1 hour. I think he'll go longer if he likes you. Dinner for 2 hours for $10,000. So he's been doing that for years, right? He basically said somebody wanted to have dinner with him, and he is like, how much? And he was like, $2,500. And they said yes. Well, he never advertised it. I never heard him say it on the radio. Didn't have Fan Social at the time. Then he raised his price to $5,000, and people still said yes. And then one day he said $10,000, and people still said yes. Well, honestly, when Melanie reached out to me and invited me to be her and Scott's guest at their $10,000 dinner in New York City, and I talked about it, I asked Jeff, hey, can I talk about this? Can I make video? He said, yep. That's when I had Annie. So Annie made a couple of $10,000 videos about it. I think it really got the word out. Like, I think people that were Jeff Lewis fans that didn't necessarily listen to his radio show and know he did $10,000 dinners, it definitely got the word out. So he's been doing a ton of them for years now. And so now they've got this app. Well, then he added this Jeff Lewis Studio VIP, 2 hours for $5,000. So at one point it said 1 hour. So I think they've even updated it. I swear last week it said 1 hour. Does anyone know for sure? It says you and one guest can peek behind the curtain of Jeff Lewis Live and enjoy being in the studio with Jeff, Shane, and guests for the full 2-hour live show, exclusively offered in LA. In other words, when they're traveling to Dallas, when they're traveling to Mexico, when they're traveling in New York City, they're not going to do it. I swear it was 1 hour when they first mentioned it like a week or so ago. So this caller calls in to Andy Cohen and basically says he should be donating this money. And so Jeff hears of it. I guess somebody DMs him or something. Yeah, I think they changed it to 2 hours, because even I was like, $5,000 for 1 hour. The show is the show is 2 hours. So why would you do an hour? So on there now, because I looked last week and I swear it said 1 hour. Now it says 2 hours. So now that lets me know you can't just, give me a break. You can't just add that. You can't just, like, Jeff isn't doing that. So I'm curious if his, whoever he's hired to do the website, when some new chump adds up and adds on to this and they have to add that person, somebody's got to put the picture, put the pricing, sorry, TikTok, I'm trying to show y'all both. Like Tracy Tudor, a lot of them are $10,000 dinners also. So Tracy's dinner is $10,000 also. So somebody has to put that up. My point being with that is, wouldn't whoever that is, whether it's Michael Beck, they mentioned some other name. I forget the girl's name, but I feel like it was a girl's name, Melinda or something. I feel like it was a girl's name that was hired on to help with Fan Social. And so I'm like, why wouldn't they make sure that that was absolutely available? Oh, y'all think it's a shtick, but it's literally up on his thing. LTD says, I think it's a shtick about the serious $5,000 studio experience. So they're just doing, that's so weird. I almost don't want to believe that, because then that feels very produced, right? It feels like he's like, dare I say, creating drama instead of just the drama coming to him. You know what I mean? I don't know. Michael Riley says SiriusXM will get sued and that whole Fan Social will go up in flames. But why would they get sued? He has done it 2 or 3 times for like charities where people, like an auction, like a silent auction, bid and to win, and then they choose who they want. And so he does. You think it's to create content? That's going to be very disappointing to me. It really is. Kimberly J says they're creating content. I don't like that. I don't want to think that they're producing drama. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. Lisa says, "I think he wanted to do it, and I thought Tim Johnson or Jim Thompson, whoever it is, was texting him saying no, but then he didn't take it off the thing, right?" So, yeah, we're gonna chat about that in a second, PJ. Yeah. Um, okay. So who knows? Jeff brought it up a couple of times, but um also on Andy Cohen Live, he explains now we know why he posted that picture of Jenny Pulos at this dance event. So one of Jenny's daughters, maybe both of them, are really into dance, and I guess they must have had some event at the Lincoln Center, somewhere really big. And Andy Cohen was like, "Look, Jenny Pulos doesn't ask for many favors ever, but she asked me a week or so ago, hey, will you announce or introduce whatever at this?" Maybe it was a fundraiser or something for this dance or something that her daughter was at. So she, even though it was Lucy's third birthday last night, he's like, "I did the cakes, I did all the things. We had our party this weekend. I went out, did the little thing, and got to see and hang out with Jenny Pulos for a little bit." So that's how he explained that, because I think a lot of us were wondering what made him post this picture of him and Jenny Pulos talking about what a great dancer her daughter is. I was like, wait, what? So crazy. Lincoln the Golden says, "You're opening an entire private workplace to just let anyone pay $5,000 to come in and do whatever." Well, I mean, they're in public and they're not walking around anywhere without other people. I guess I see that part of it. Like it could be but that's also like, okay, do they not let a DoorDasher upstairs to deliver food? Do they not let a delivery person upstairs? What if someone's grandma wants to come see your office? Are you not allowed to come in the SiriusXM studio? What are the rules of SiriusXM? Like if it's that much on lockdown, then I totally understand it. But also, a lot of them have guests. Now, even though they're celebrities, doesn't mean a celebrity can't do something bad too. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think they did add some sort of process. I didn't pay for the $10,000 dinner, so you'll have to ask Melanie and Scott how they were vetted. I don't know anything about that. I know when Melanie invited me to be her guest, I know that I reached out to Shane and Jeff and said, "Hey, just so you know, there's a girl named Melanie." I said her last name. She said she's going to be in New York. I didn't know Melanie from anyone, so I needed to make sure that her DMs were valid and she was really having this $10,000 dinner with Jeff, because she'd been telling me for weeks. But I was just like, "Oh, good, have fun." So even I kind of vetted Melanie and Scott with saying, "Look, I'm not buying a flight to New York if she's not even having dinner with y'all. Like, what if she was not even telling the truth about it?" Which obviously she was. They are nice, normal people. But even I made sure of that. So I don't know how. But then again, that's over a year ago. So I don't know if anything has changed where they, especially when it's other celebrities, now that they have Fan Social, it's not just Jeff that he's worried about. He's got true celebrities. And I think MJ was the first one, or somebody I know mentioned, "Hey, what about security? How am I making sure everything?" And they're like, "Well, just meet in public. Like, don't go with anyone. Don't get in their car." You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that is a good point, that maybe it's putting other people at risk or something. I would just think he's got this attorney, Marlo. She seems to be the one that he hires to do a lot of stuff. And I would think that she would have made sure, or whoever, when it was going on this website, that they really had permission from SiriusXM. But if it's just to get stuff, if it's just to create drama, I'm kind of pissed now. I don't know. Sarah says, "Who's going to spill how Melanie got so rich?" I don't really know. I don't know. I know she doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just say that. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess Jordy says Fan Social is not vetting anyone here old enough to remember the Rebecca Schaefer murder. It was a fan stalker. Yeah, that was a girl that was on the Mindy Mork show and probably other stuff. Was she on the Mindy Mork show? Was it that long ago? God, Mork and Mindy. Oh my God. Was it that show she was on, or a different one? Anyways, a young girl, and a stalker knocked on her door, and yeah, my sister Sam. But was that a spinoff from Mork and Mindy? I feel like it was. Anyways. Do you think so? Oh, I guess I'm so naive. I don't like to think of people being like bad like that. I think of this as a fun, like people really wanting to just hang out and not do anything bad. I would never want that. Kay Kitty says fan social seems so dangerous. Ooh, I don't think of it that way. But that's awful. I would hope not. Anyways, okay. So, one of you chumpettes, yes, y'all are here. Let me know. Thank y'all for letting me know. I'm very behind in my DMs, but somebody texted me and let me know about today's Rick and Kelly smash. I guess they're in I guess they're in Florida for something because I think I did hear they were going to be in Florida for a few weeks. Maybe they said that last time they were on Jeff Lewis Live. I can't remember. They were going to be there for like 2 or 3 weeks. Anyways, about 39 minutes into Wednesday's smash, it comes up. Somebody let Kelly know about David Yontef's podcast that he does called Behind the Velvet Rope. Clearly, those two don't like each other. They kind of go at each other all the time, David Yontef and Kelly. Patrick and Pohl has been coming on David's podcast a few times now lately, and they will talk whatever's going on about Jeff Lewis. Anyways, they recently, it wasn't, how do I say this? Because, Kelly's like holding it and playing it up to the thing. And I'm like, it wasn't the best. Clearly, David is making a couple of jabs about Kelly being drunk and what have you. And Patrick and Pohl didn't necessarily defend that, but they certainly weren't saying their own things that were negative about Rick and Kelly. But one thing that Rick didn't like is that they were saying basically that Rick was not paid. That Rick was not paid for ChumpCon. He just went because he loves Kelly so much. But don't forget, he had said a couple of times, I would do it for free. He's done so much for us. But that was weeks before he was actually hired, right? So then Kelly was hired, and then she got the full $10,000. And she even got $11,000 because she got paid $1,000 for being invited to the ChumpCon. The $10,000 dinner that Jeff did. So Rick then says, well, I was paid. He asked me and he paid very well. He didn't say what. So now I'm thinking, before I thought that Rick and LaKendra Tooks was paid $10,000 for being part of the show, asking the audience questions at the live event. Now I'm thinking they were both not paid $10,000 because Rick made it very clear it wasn't $10,000 like Kelly was, but he paid me a very nice amount of money. Like Jeff is very good with money. He was very respectful, what have you. So since LaKendra and Rick did the same job of sorts, and then Rick's there with his wife, LaKendra's there with the fans. We clearly know that was a good thing because then people that maybe didn't know her, didn't listen to her podcast, maybe didn't follow her on Instagram, maybe she all got more followers and more listens off of her podcast for that, for being there. So, Kelly was definitely told about the podcast and kind of didn't think that so they call him. And Patrick answered. He's like, hello. And Pohl's in the car or wherever they were, and they're both on the thing and kind of defending themselves, saying, look, we've never said anything bad, but Kelly was adamant. Kelly was like, how do you like that guy? He's such a douche. He doesn't know anything he's talking about. He shouldn't have his own podcast. She does not like David Yontef at all. At all. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, Ryan says, I feel like Jeff felt obligated to pay Rick something. Well, yeah, when it fell through that these little people that he was hiring along with, Todd's magic show that got canceled, they didn't feel they were asking for more money. They were told they weren't very responsible. I think the insurance was nervous about it because they are little people. So what if somebody tripped them? What if, they were nervous that they weren't going to be able to do the job or that they wouldn't do the job of asking the audience questions and playing the games and such. So then he nixed that and then hired LaKendra last minute and then Rick Leventhal last minute to do it. Now, Rick was probably going anyways because what's it matter? He was going to stay in, Kelly's hotel room. So it didn't really cost any more, but it did cost more to hire LaKendra. So I just don't think they were paid the full $10,000. I don't know. Krista, what's going on with Krista? Yeah, Krista says, I can hear Patrick saying, hello. Yeah, he was like, hello, darling. I mean, he's very extravagant. I like him. It kind of felt that way. And I love Paul and Patrick, but they're very Switzerland. I can tell you, they're very Switzerland. They are always going to keep it, whatever. Mabu says Paul and Patrick play both sides. I mean, because, Kelly's like, look, we're friends. We hang out all the time. I don't get drunk all the time. Like, why would you not defend me? And even Rick was like, why would you say that? Why would you say that I wasn't paid? And they were like, oh, well, we thought you weren't paid. I mean, they did. They thought, but even Paul is in the background saying something like, you know, um, we just thought we were basically complimenting you, saying that you love Kelly so much that you were just going to be there just to support her. And he was like, oh, well, that's true. I don't know. At the end of it, seemed like it was fine. Crystal, it was interesting though to just like call him out of the blue. PJ said Crystal got made at a drunk chump for asking her if it was true that Asian men were small. Oh, got mad at a drunk. Yes. But that was rude. Yeah, I think so too. I think they are, I've always said this, they were, them and Paige Davis were the friendliest to me from the very beginning. Obviously Doug too, but they've always been very nice to me. So Patrick and Paul. Kay Kitty says, yeah, Paul and Patrick don't want to piss anyone off. Yeah, Heather said Rick did say that he did not get $10,000, but he got paid well. Yeah. I heard it was good. Dana Maria says, did anyone listen to Jamie Kennedy's podcast about ChumpCon? It was really interesting from his point of view. I saw it on YouTube, but I didn't. Stoney says they're not Switzerland. They stir the pot and carry tales from one side to the other and then sit back enjoying the drama like the popcorn. Oh my gosh. Well, at the end of the day, they seem to have left it good with Rick and Kelly, and clearly they're going to keep doing, David's podcast. So anyways, yeah, I think so too. Kim says, sounds like they were a little bit aggravated with Paul and Patrick, or aggressive. Yeah. I don't know what you meant. Yeah. Yeah, it was gross what they asked Crystal at that. Michael, you do. Michael says, I like to do that too. He does. Anyways. Okay. The Valley season 2, episode 3 was on last night. And then Watch What Happens Live was Brittany and Luke, which is Kristen Dowdy's fiance, I guess now, baby daddy, soon to be baby daddy. Love how everyone is rallying around Brittany. So it starts off, we know that Jason, who is Janet's husband, literally drove Jax to this treatment center. I don't know if it's a treatment center or a mental health facility. It's a little bit, they've both been kind of those terms have been used, but it's like, were you there for admitting you have a drug problem or just anger issues? Like, you know what I mean? If you're not going to admit to a cocaine addiction, you're never going to get help. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. But anyways, everyone's coming to Brittany's house. She's obviously very stressed out. Now she's literally a single mom. Like before, I think Jax was seeing, Cruz sometimes, but she doesn't want to talk all about this stuff and say all these details in front of Cruz, and Cruz just wants to be held by her. So it was a very sweet scene. Then Janet has her birthday at Dave & Buster's. And boy, does Janet take Dave & Buster's seriously. She's got a whole plan. Now, I love Dave & Buster's. It's like an adult Chuck E. Cheese. We've taken our kids there when they were little. Obviously took our kids to Chuck E. Cheese a ton. She literally walks in. She has a plan. She goes to the gift shop, like the prizes, picks out what prize she wants to win, looks at how many tickets it costs. Then she goes and makes sure that she knows the most games that are going to give her the most tickets. And then she goes to town playing. And then her goal. Now, don't forget, isn't she an attorney also? I know Jason is, but I feel like she's an attorney also. So I think that was just her thing. Oh, Luna, you stink. I don't know if she... Luna. No. It's a stinky girl. Yes, you are. Oh, she puts her butt up next to me. So I'll scratch her butt. Yeah, AUS Fly Girl, she did. Sorry, I've got one hand scratching Luna's butt. AUS Fly Girl says, "It seems that Kristen has matured and gotten a lot of therapy. She's very different now." I mean, even, Andy Cohen gave her a lot of respect on Watch What Happens Live. Um, okay. So they're trying to find the mole in this guy's group text, thinking that this group text of like 15, 20 different guys, that it's all private information. So Jesse posts in there something very gross, saying that he had heard that Michelle was sleeping with a billionaire for $1,500 a night. Now, come on. If you're a billionaire, I hope you're paying more than $1,500 a night, right? She's a beautiful woman, what have you. But anyways, apparently he says it was just a joke. Well, Danny goes into, who's only been in this group chat for a few months, and they've realized, lately, all this stuff, all the really bad stuff, especially about Jax, who he's dating, who he's doing, whatever, was getting out. So they were trying to figure out who the mole was, right? So Danny ends up telling Luke. Luke is not in the group chat. Luke, first thing he does, getting that paycheck, walking up at Janet's birthday party at Dave and Buster's and tells, no, I'm sorry. He told Brittany and them at Brittany's house when they were all getting ready to go out to Dave and Buster's. Then Brittany pulls her aside and tells her. Of course, Michelle starts crying. She's like, "I hate him. I don't want to ever talk to him again." And I'm like, honey, y'all's child is only 4 years old. You've got a lifetime. Literally, there's no way. Michelle and Jesse both say really rude things to each other. I mean, it sounds like this marriage was doomed from the beginning. It was like, he never wanted to be with me. He was never kissing me for years. Well, honey, you were only married for a few years. That means your whole marriage was a bunch of crap. You know what I mean? I feel like they probably only stayed together those 4 years because of their daughter, Isabella, which is really sad. But it comes out, and he believes that Michelle was cheating with her current boyfriend, Aaron. Well, then they rewind and show where Aaron had this honey company called Kilo or Kylo, whatever, Kylo Honey. And there's this little thing, and she's got the Kilo t-shirt on. Well, we know she's a realtor. So it's like, why is she hawking this guy's honey years before they started dating? Very interesting. Love Michelle. I'm not saying cheating is the worst thing in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying it happens. So, you're married to a dude like Jesse. He's not giving you loving. He's not complimenting you. He's not being nice. He's saying, don't wear makeup. I mean, he's a jerk, I know. Dana Marie says, "I guess I'm Team Michelle, but I don't really love her that much either." I know. It's like, I don't want to be anyone. LTD says, "I call BS. Jesse was trying to cover for it by saying he was trying to find the mole." Oh, see, and that wouldn't shock me either, because they're both saying really gross things. And I haven't watched it yet, but I did hear on the after show, on the Bravo after show that's on Peacock, that they were both basically saying, I quit working as much after Isabella was born to spend time with her, but then he quit working, but yet we were both spending money. And I'm like, okay, so what the hell were you doing? You didn't have the TV show back then. You just had a kid. So y'all just decided, oh, we have a kid and now we're both going to be quit working. But then she did say they had millions in the bank. Well, that's a lot of money. So if you had millions in the bank and you've already gone through it, then both of y'all need to go back to work. When the money starts going down, somebody's got to go put it back in there, right? I mean, are you not kidding me? Mabu says, "Makes me so glad I'm not young and in the dating game or old in the dating game. It's so complicated and everyone's out for themselves." I literally can't even imagine. The dude, the firefighter dude about Becky Robinson today, I was like, oh my God, what a douchebag. Yeah, Dana Maria said they had made tons of money and he blew through it, according to her. But he's saying that she helped spend it too, that they both had access to it. Now, looking at them, seems to be way more into appearances, way more into brand names, the the facials of it all, the suntan of it all. I mean, he seems very much more of the spender, if you ask me, but she could be spending things on other things. I don't know. We're never going to know the truth unless they literally get a financial analyst in there looking at, what do they call it? Not an auditor, financial, whatever it's called when somebody really goes through your records. You know what I mean? Do y'all close your house? Y'all don't close up a pool. Like, y'all don't winterize it in Orlando, do you? Because we leave our pool open year round. Michael Riley says, I have limited time now that the pool is open at the house. Because we don't, you know how people like put a cover on it or like take the water out or whatever? We don't do that in Houston. And I know Orlando's got the same kind of weather that we do, right? Thank you, Charlie Charles. Thank you all also over on TikTok. There's almost 4,000 likes. Thank you so much for tapping the screen over there. I really appreciate it. Forensic accountant. Thank you. Mel Hell Law. Thank you. Yes, I'm over on YouTube also and Instagram, but I'm live on YouTube right now. Are y'all giving me gifter badges? Thank you. Charlene and Miss Vaga, blonde. Anyways, thank you for tapping the screen and hitting the thumbs up on YouTube. Yeah, Michael doesn't close his pool. We'll chat about it. Sarah says, what happened with Becky's hemorrhoid guy? Well, it was her with the hemorrhoid, wasn't it? Yeah, he's no bueno anymore. I did not. Stoney says, did you see Andy Cohen on the Howard Stern show? He dished on the Beverly Hills Housewives a bit. Ooh, I did not listen to it. I canceled my Howard Stern, so I don't have that anymore. Maybe they'll make a clip of it. I don't know. Oh, that makes me sad, but I totally understand. AUS Fly Girl says, I'll watch clips on the podcast. Reality TV is no longer my thing. I know. I think a lot of people are dying out from it. You know what I mean? It was just gross. Michelle and Jesse, like, I don't know. I mean, on Watch What Happens Live, Brittany was like, oh, Jax is way more of a douchebag than Jesse. And I'm like, I don't know. They're pretty both kind of gross. I don't believe it. I don't think Michelle was with this billionaire. She didn't exactly deny it. She just was upset that he said it. I mean, Brittany was the one saying, oh, we know it's not true. And I'm like, well, she hasn't said that. Like, let her, like, I'm just saying, let her deny it first, for one thing. Anyways, poor Danny. What is he like the boy next door that's going to end up being a bad guy? Is he going to end up being like, oh, I got blackout drunk and I got a girl pregnant. Now I've got another baby on the way. I'm just saying, there was some not so good stuff said about little Danny, and he just looks so boy next door, married to Nia, got the 3 little kiddos. He wants this big house in the burbs, which I think they finally got in Santa Clarita. They were saying that Danny cannot hold his alcohol. And when he goes out, he goes hard. And he like touches people and says gross things. And I'm like, you know, the more famous he gets from the Valley, because let's be honest, I didn't really know him from all the other shows he's been on as an actor. The more famous he gets from the Valley, there's definitely people, nasty girls, that are like, oh, I'd love to take some of that from Nia. And I'm like, no, like, leave their freaking marriage alone. Close your legs to married men. Is seriously. No, I haven't watched Survivor in so long. Heather says you need to review Survivor. Start fresh next season. Yep. I'll leave that to Sarah Fraser. Krista says, I have begged Sarah to watch Sister Wives and she hates Cody and his hair. She won't watch. I don't have time either. Like, I mean, 90 Day Fiance, The Housewives, Jeff Lewis, like, it's a lot. My Datelines, it's a lot. You know what I mean? But let me know, do you think Michelle cheated with Aaron, was cheating with Aaron? Because now Kristen Doty says, when I said that she had had a boyfriend for a year last summer, I wasn't even talking about Aaron. I was talking about someone else. So I think she definitely was, you know, but what Jesse's putting together was, she was putting makeup on to go on a walk in Runyon Canyon. She was like, getting this honey. And now I know this guy lives near Runyon Canyon. Like, you know, she'll lose them how she gets them, you know what I mean? If they get together from cheating, I have seen it work out from some people, but for the most part, they end up splitting up because I don't wanna say once a cheater, always a cheater, but you know what I mean? Oh, I know, I can't even think about that. Yvonne Gal says, I'm talking about Sister Wives. Oh no, I'm not ready for the Garrison episode. Were they filming or did they pick up cameras again? I feel like they weren't filming when Garrison ended his own life. Were they? And is this the last season of Sister Wives? And they're gonna start that poly family show? Um Sarah says Jax and Jesse are the reason I'm happily single. I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, they're just so gross. So gross. I mean, Mabu says, I don't know anyone who likes Cody or sobbing Robin. Well, the girls don't even like Robin anymore, which is weird. I mean, they used to all allegedly be this one. I don't know. I think he apparently treats Robin's kids very differently than he treats his own kids. And so that was a bone of contention. And then obviously he's a very different person to Robin but she's very calm and mild. I don't, she seems exactly the little chia pet that, Cody wants, right? Oh, that's right. Thanking them, right? Didn't he thank them? Maybe says he sent a message to production before he took his life. Yeah, I did hear about that, but I didn't know if that meant they were filming at that time though. Just awful. Cecile says Robin is his soulmate. Puke. Oh my gosh. Okay, on Watch What Happens Live. Wait. Oh, also Michelle on the Valley. Michelle, not denying it again, just being like, oh, he's so gross. I don't want to go on this Santa Barbara trip, this winery trip that Jesse's putting together. I don't want to have to stay in the same house as him. Well, then don't go. You just want your airtime. Like if you don't show up, you're not going to get your airtime. And that's all the Valley wants. So I get it. But it's like, look, y'all are going through divorce. Like, it's messy. It's really one of the grossest divorces we've seen on reality TV. So we get that. Hey, Lisa in Kentucky, shout out number 63. There's 211 on. We should have at least 211 thumbs ups. Please, please, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. Planting and lots of other stuff. Awesome. Anyways, she goes around and basically wants to take a vote from everyone going to Santa Barbara to see if Jesse should have to go and stay the night in a hotel instead of staying in the house that he's renting. And I'm like, come on, what are we in 4th grade? We're like, are you, do you hate Johnny? Like, seriously, like, y'all are grown ass people. Like, don't go. If you don't want to go, don't go. Miss out on it. Miss out on the camera time. Hear about it from everyone later, or just go. Wrap your head around it and go. You know what I mean? Yes. I did see that. Krista says, did you see Jesse wrapped up with Anna Nicole Smith decades ago? I sent it to you. Yes, that was interesting. The things Paul and Patrick must know about that whole, well, where's my book? I can never find my Paul and Patrick book. I know it's somewhere. It must be up there somewhere. But all I can see is Andy. And on the ground is Stu's books and Margaret Joseph's books. Anyways, I don't know where it's at. It's pink. That's all I remember is the Paul and Patrick Anna Nicole Smith book. Anyways, I know. I'm so curious. They always make it a point to be like, Ryan says, I highly doubt Jesse paid or found the house in Santa Barbara. Production plans everything usually. Plus, they got to make sure it's in a neighborhood that's okay with TV cameras. They got to make sure the owner of the house. So, yeah, you just can't rent an Airbnb and be like, hey, production, here's the address. Like, everything has to go through. But I also think that should be paid for. Like, right? Maybe they get a stipend and then you have to just like draw the straw and see who's going to host a vacation or something. I don't know. It's so weird to me with all these housewives shows. Yeah. I did too. Lisa says, I used to watch the Anna Nicole reality TV show. Me too. And I think a lot of us were worried about Anna Nicole for sure. Yes. Dana says Anna Nicole Smith met her baby daddy at the Kentucky Derby. What's his name? Gosh, what's his name? Ken? No. They still live here. Yeah, he's raising their daughter. She's like 17 now. Can you believe that? Yes, Jesse was with Anna Nicole Smith at one point. Because don't forget, I mean, he looks kind of young, but he's like 45. And I bet Anna Nicole Smith would have been, maybe she was older than him. Let's see. Anna Nicole Smith. Let's see when she was age. Her age at death. She died in 2007. Accidental overdose. She was born in 67. So she's quite a bit older than him. 1967, 2025 minus 1967. She would be 58 years old this year. So I think Jesse is about 45. So she was definitely a little bit older than him. Oh yeah, Chris, Larry, that's his name. Larry, whatever his name is. I think he's been a great dad for their daughter. Anyways. I don't know. I just don't feel like Michelle should have been. I don't think Jesse should have to be banned from the house. I think that's ridiculous. I'm sort of curious what ends up happening. See if she doesn't go. Larry Burkhead, yeah. Shanda says Larry Burkhead has done a great job of keeping her out of the spotlight. I mean, they've done a few interviews and shows, but for the most part, he's definitely kept her out of it. So Watch What Happens Live was Brittany and then Luke, and Brittany basically cut Jax anytime she could. Like, I will never get back with him. Never, ever. He's ruined our relationship. And then somebody asked to say, like, out of a 10, like, what was he in bed? And she's like, well, sometimes she either said he was a 6 or a 7 or a 7 and 8. I don't remember. Definitely not a 10 ever. And he was mostly a 3 or 4 in bed. So basically, and I think it's, I mean, Whiskey D is real, but I don't know about all the other stuff he was using. Speaking of, I'm like itching my nose. And trust me, I don't do that stuff, but my nose was literally itching. But she also said that she should have known. There were red flags in the beginning. She said, anytime somebody is rude to a waiter, you should take notice. So apparently Jax, even being a bartender his whole freaking life, he was rude to waiters and other people. So, and she mentioned something about the fact that he wasn't close to his family. So at the end, she gives like these five things about what she wants in a relationship. And she's like, well, I want someone who makes their family a priority. I want someone that's in good, relations with their own family. So she was very adamant about all of that. Thank you for the follow. I think it's Danny over there on TikTok. Hey, Anna. Yes. Oh, she definitely wanted to dog him as much as she could. Michael Riley says she just wanted to say that. Exactly. I mean, I didn't love her makeup. Her makeup reminded me, if y'all remember that video I did on Alexis Bellino, it went viral. And I basically said the makeup artist even hates Alexis Bellino because, I mean, she looked like a clown on the last Watch What Happens Live she was on. But Brittany's makeup reminded me of Alexis's. So I'm like, is that like the house makeup artist that they let do it and she just puts on way too much makeup? Lisa in Kentucky says, Brittany looks like a blow-up doll. Sorry, not sorry. My Kentucky sister with teeth. With teeth. She also dogged him, basically saying that Jax didn't take care of her after her boob job. She says that her friend Zach did. The one from and they've been friends since like high school. She said like 17 years. And I'm guessing she looks so young to me. Brittany really does look young, but if she moved to LA when she was like 27 and they were together, she's like 37. Brittany Cartwright age. That's all we do is look up people's ages now. She just turned 36. So, okay. Anyways, she does. Ew, the Jax hammer. Oh, gross. The last thing I want to think. I just think of him like it's sex. Talk about sweaty. That guy is the sweatiest guy. If he was doing drugs, he was just all sweated up, not being able to get it hard, getting mad because he couldn't get it up. Ugh. Ugh. Her jaw doesn't look right either. Poor Brittany. Did she do something to oh, I feel like oh, that's right. She got that jaw thing done, remember? Remember she was wrapped up at one point? Oh, the sweat is from Coke, Krista says. Yeah, he's always red and just, ugh, you know? Anyways. Okay, we are running late. Real quick, let's wrap up Jeff Lewis Live. David Archuleta was on with Zach Noe Towers. I don't know if it's a fan I don't know if it's a fan social rule, if it's something with Sirius XM. I don't know if they're just creating drama. I'm not happy if they are because that's going to be grossing me out. But I can't understand why it's still on the fansocial.co website if he's been told by Jameson, now you know you can't have people in here. You can't make money off of that. Like maybe they could do it as a fundraiser, but they can't do it for money for him. Maybe it's because they're like, you don't own the studio. You don't own the, you're not Sirius XM. Maybe it's that. So, ooh, Heather, who used to suck on whose feet? Jax used to suck on Brittany's? Oh, God. Oh, y'all got a lot to say about Brittany. Cecile says her mouth is a frown, and I'm not trying to be mean. She's just having too much surgery. Yeah, and I think she's always had a certain shape of her face with her smile. You know what I mean? She does kind of have a frowny smile. Lisa says it was disgusting, but me and her family were all laughing about it. Then gets arrested for weed. Amy's new boyfriend. Oh, 1,000-Pound Sisters. Oh my God. The camel bite heard round the world. Oh my gosh. Oh, is that what it's called? Wait, is that what they call Margaret Josephs? Why do they say that she has fish lips or whatever? Is that the one they call fish lips? Chris, I mean, I've met her. I think Margaret is so pretty. It's very nice. Krista says Brittany has carp mouth from bad facial work. What is she doing facial work for at 36 years old too? Anyways, you know what I mean? Anyways, the caller that called in about Zach Noe Towers is very true. I mean, I don't think our tickets were too expensive, but I think 25 is way too low. I think Zach Noe Towers needs to be making a lot more money than that, especially giving a free meet and greet. He does take the best pictures with people, like hugging all up on them. Why was my live access removed from, hold on, I have to appeal on TikTok real quick. Anyways, they'll probably give it back to me. So weird. Over on TikTok, it said appeal under review. It'll take 24 hours to review your appeal. I'm like, okay. Sexual exploitation and gender-based violence is the reason. Oh, good Lord. Gotta love someone turning me in. Hey, lovers. So dumb. Anyways, yeah, Stoney said the studio thing must just be about pure liability. If the public is allowed in, they have to have insurance for that. Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't they have insurance and just in general? You know what I mean? So it's so weird. I haven't seen it yet. Heather says the camel bite looked horrific. Was shocked at how serious the injury was. I mean, those things make me nervous. Lisa says, and he wants Amy to move to Nashville already. What the F does he see in her? I mean, Amy needs all the help she can get with those kids. She's very overwhelmed. She needs every sibling she's got. You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought it was a nip too. The video that came out on TMZ when it happened, it was all blurred out. We didn't really see it. You know what I mean? Anyways, okay. I think David and Oscar could be a date. I think David was very protected his whole life. He just came out as gay 4 years ago. He just started drinking 2 years ago. I love how frugal he is with his money. I love that he doesn't go out to fancy restaurants. He seems to just do his job and go home. Seems to have good people around him, but he might be dating someone because he didn't exactly tell Jeff no. You know what I mean? Yes, Anna says they asked Brittany about her relationship with Stassi, and she hinted that Jax was the reason for the fallout. Well, she said Stassi has definitely not reached out to her about the divorce and everything. because somebody asked, and she said, but when we see each other at like birthday parties, events, I always hug her and say, I hope you're doing well and what have you. But she basically said the reason we didn't go to their wedding is because of Jack. So it was probably, something with his drug abuse or something was going on. And then she's getting the fallout for it and never even said anything about it. I would have called and said, this is exactly why we're not going. And it's Jax Taylor. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Stoney says, it's so sweet and innocent because we all knew David was gay 29 years ago. Sorry. Well, not 29, but 17 or 18 when he was on American Idol, right? Anyways, okay, the second hour was Becky Robinson and Zach Noe Towers stayed on. She gives us an update about firefighter dude. He ended up being a total dork, like a baby. He wanted these things called rhino pills that I guess they sell at like gas stations for like a blue pill. And she was like, wait, what? And then he was like, what am I going to eat for dinner? Did you pick up any alcohol? And then he was like making fun of her. And I'm like, ew, you've known her for 2 weekends. Like, she flew you out here. Like, stop being gross. I know. I kind of wish he would talk more. AUS Fly Girl says, I miss hearing from Oscar. He's a sweet guy. But you know what? I can tell you, when he talked, people would tell me, oh, Oscar's talking too much. I'm like, I don't know. Does he? Like, I don't know. David Archuleta is, I feel like he said 34 today. I feel like that. Oscar's like 27, I feel like. Wait, what? Dana Maria says, I want to know the real story of Stassi's wedding. If they get on each other's podcast, they would get big ratings. If Stassi and Brittany, but the problem is they'll have to figure out who's going to go on whose podcast first. Because people are only going to listen to one, or the most people are going to listen to one. So I don't know. Anyways, Jeff mentioned a couple times about this fan that called in about telling on him and everything. Definitely wasn't happy about that, but I don't know. I do think SiriusXM is probably not happy. But then at the very end, basically, one of his contractors lets him know, look, your neighbors are coming in your house like every day looking at your stuff. That is wrong. That is ballsy. But I will tell you, when we built a house in 2001, we were the second, I'm trying to remember, we were the second house on the street that was even built. So only one family lived there. And then we would come by maybe once a week to check on the progress of the house. And this neighbor, she is not nice, still isn't nice, still lives there, basically said, oh, what did she call them? Your options, whatever, like your upgrades, like we built this house. So we had to go and pick out the color of the wallpaper, the color of this, upgrade the floors, whatever. Well, at some points when you're building a house, it's not even locked up, right? Because there's nothing in it like electronics or, dishwasher or anything. So at one point she let me know, and now there was a house in between us. Okay. There was her house, the neighbor that moved in eventually, and then my house. She was in our backyard because at one point she called me or something and said, oh, by the way, you need to call the phone company because they need to bury your, the phone line, the gas line, cable line, whatever it was, some line I needed to bury. This is 24 years ago. And, I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh yeah. I go look in your windows to look and see what items you picked out to see if I like them or not. I'm like, bitch, get out of my windows. Quit looking in my house. Quit judging my shit. Like, seriously. So gross. Because there's definitely people, what do they call them? Looky loos. The real estate people say that, 80% of the walkthroughs or neighbors just kind of see what their house look like, see if it's worth the price, blah, blah, blah. So gross. So gross. Yeah. She's so gross. Krista said you had a stalker years ago. I mean, she's just one time. So when we built the house, I was already pregnant. So it must have been either second or the third pregnancy because we moved 10 days before I had the third baby. So the second or the third baby, whichever it was, we hadn't told people we were pregnant yet. And she saw the ultrasound pictures on the refrigerator. And I didn't even think about it. And then she said something and she goes, "Oh, I could tell by the way you walked. The mail was in our cul-de-sac. Oh, I could tell that you were pregnant by the way you were walking to get the mail." I'm like, "Bitch, please. You were way larger than me. And you're all talking about the way I walk and knew I was pregnant." It was so crazy. Gladys Kravitz, exactly. Mm, that's true. Heather says not as many looky loos now because you can see the home online, all the pictures. Exactly. Anyway, so that was gross. But Jeff's like, if I catch them, I'm going to make a big, deal about them. I'm going to like let them know. Anyways, well, we did go a little bit late today, but we were just chatting, having fun. Speaking of D, shout out D. I think I'll see you Saturday. Don't forget, if you live in the Houston area, or if you'll be in the Houston area Saturday, we do have a Chumpette flying in. She's a flight attendant flying in from Dallas, and I'm going to pick her up at the airport. And I've met her several times before, so don't worry. She's safe. And Veronica. And then we're going to have lunch at a place around 12:30 or 1 Saturday. So get into the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. There's an event, and that will tell you where to be if you live in the Houston area. If you know someone in the Houston area, let them know also. Nice public place, but it should be fun. Cecile says, love when you go over an hour. It's a lot of chatting though, but anyways, as long as y'all love it, I love it. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Bye, Chumpettes.